chaotic, and it has changed my life. I'm a fan of his ever since. I love this collection. Of his most legendary supermodels and more. The four queens of the runway. Fashion, New York Fashion Week is right around the corner. Librarian tonight, and that's because I came to read a bitch. Jaja's Atelier, bitch. Welcome back, y'all, to a brand new episode of Jaja's Atelier. I miss you guys. It's been about 3 weeks since I've been back. I want to say welcome back to all my A1 Day Ones and to any new subscribers who just so happen to stumble upon my channel. Welcome. This is a fun space. We talk fashion, we talk politics, and we talk shit, honey. So, listen, it's been 3 weeks because, listen, your girl still works a 9 to 5. And I didn't realize that the weather was going to pick up so quick here in Virginia. So the work has gotten really, really heavy at my 9 to 5 job. And also, I ended up getting this really bad viral respiratory infection that's been going around. I don't know if you guys have heard anything about it or if you caught it yourself, but it is nothing to be fucked with. It's not COVID. But bitch, it definitely felt like it. My head was fucking pounding for days. I couldn't breathe. It was just a hot mess. So I'm back. Today's topics are going to be a little dated because, I haven't been able to come back to recap Milan Fashion Week or Paris Fashion Week or the Oscars. We miss a day, miss a lot, right? So let's just jump straight into it. I'm going to be really, really honest with you guys. Milan really disappointed me. Any of you guys that have watched my channel for the past couple years since I started the show, Milan has always been a highlight for me during Fashion Week, whether it's September or February. Milan has always been my favorite. And this year, not so much. I was really, really bored. Quick sidebar too. I was really, really disappointed in Miuccia Prada having Trump's trick Mark Zuckerberg front row and center at her and Raf Simons' latest show. In very poor taste, Miuccia. In very poor taste. Allegedly, he was there because, he's got these Meta sunglasses. I'm not into all that shit, but anyway. So the first Meta sunglasses that came out, I believe, were distributed and designed by Ray-Bans. Well, Miuccia Prada, as if she needs any more money, because she is the wealthiest fashion designer amongst them all, if you didn't know. She's allegedly, according to reports, has her own pair of Prada Meta sunglasses coming out. I don't know when. I don't really care, but that's why he was there. But for your consumers that are knowledgeable and woke and who are trying to, in some shape, form, or fashion, combat fascism, this is really not a good look. And to have him front row, it's kind of, it really took the attention away from your collection, in my personal opinion. But listen, Prada here lately is not my favorite anyway. I've told you guys this countless times, but that show was god awful. I don't know what the hell her and Raf Simons is smoking, honey, but they need to put some real reefer in that blunt. Honey, they smoking that grabba. Anyway, so out of all the shows, I do have two favorites that I really, really thought these two designers really went above and beyond and stood out amongst the rest. I mean, honestly. First, I gotta give it to friend and designer Tokyo James, the British-Nigerian designer, aptly titled his Fall 2026 collection Harmony, and seems to be evoking homey feelings throughout, via enveloping textures, counterpointed by the sleek silhouettes, business and after hours attire for him, and urban glam for her. I The opening look, bitch. Those pants, Tokyo, Mr. James, I need those pants. You know, we're doing everything black nowadays, darling. I lived for this. And I thought it was really, really cool, edgy, fresh, something that makes you really think. I love, you know, collections that are really thought-provoking. So huge congratulations to him. And also, my favorite collection of the entire week, though, I have to say, I got to give it to Maximilian Davis for Ferragamo. The phrase, "you don't know where you're going unless you know where you've been," is the perfect way to describe this collection. And it also speaks to how history repeats itself, because essentially right now, with everything that's going on in the world, we are in the Gilded Age. We are in, you know, that, what do they call it? What do they call it? Help me. The Depression era. You know what I mean? Like right before the Depression, when everything was just glitz and glam, and that's the era that we're in right now. Maximilian Davis's latest autumn-winter 2026 collection explores the speakeasy culture of the 1920s, merging historical liberation with modern utilitarian and sensual design. The collection highlights architectural liberation, featuring rigid wool coats, nautical-inspired pieces, gold lame dresses, and quilted leather barn jackets. The dresses. These sort of floppy, flouncy, there's no real, you know, structure around it. I thought his clothes for Ferragamo could go on any girl of any age, of any size, age inclusive, size inclusive. Again, it speaks to the times that we're in, history repeating itself. Huge congratulations to Maximilian Davis. I absolutely loved this collection. I'm not going to go too deep because we got a lot to cover. And I also want to point out, neither one of these collections, in my personal opinion, got the light and the flowers that it deserved, especially in a sea of collections that really just fell flat for me and a lot of other people. These are two prominent black designers in the mainstream European fashion market. And from what I could see, y'all need to give them a whole lot more, especially Tokyo James. Especially Tokyo James. I don't understand why Women's Wear Daily didn't cover his show. Well, I kind of understand why Vogue didn't cover it, because you know what they're going through. Hey, Bezos. But we've got to do better, especially, you know, even the African American or black-led publications. It's like, come on, we know Prada, we know Gucci. Don't get me started on that. We know these brands, but they always get all the shine. Tokyo James deserves his flowers. Him and Maximilian Davis are the only two black designers in the Milan market right now. They need more shine. That's all I'm saying. Congratulations to all the other designers that presented. And that's what I got for that. Now, let's go on to Paris. So, Paris brought a lot of sophomore collections, a lot of major debuts. You know, we had Matthew Blasi for Chanel with his sophomore debut. We had Jonathan Anderson with Dior, which wasn't one of my favorites, but I did enjoy that collection. So I only have 3 favorite shows. We got to narrow it down here. So again, straight from London to Paris is the very young and very talented and I think they are so beautiful, Harris Reed. Um, for his third and sadly and surprisingly final collection for Nina Ricci. Let me just tell you, they went out with a bang with this collection for Nina Ricci. If this is how you do a final collection for a legacy European fashion house, honey. Honey. So the reports had swirled maybe about 2 weeks ago as the young talent made the decision to step down from the house. They released a statement and quoted saying, "I have loved Nina Ricci and this extraordinary team with my entire heart, and I've cherished every second of this beautiful chapter with the house. This experience will always remain a deeply personal milestone. It's something I carry with immense pride," the designer said. I'm sad to see him go because from New York to London to Milan to Paris, this was a strong motherfucking collection and it stood out amongst so many others. It gave you so much to think about. Let me go to my notes here. Wait a minute. Hold on. Here we go. This collection, this Nina Ricci collection was a time capsule. He brought us from the 18th century all the way on up to the present day in one fucking collection. And it's not that it was like 4 looks from inspired by the 18th century, 4 looks inspired by we saw the 18th century, we saw the 70s, and we saw present day fashion in each look. I don't even have to explain it. This is brilliant. I hate to see him leave. I hate to see him leave Nina Ricci. Excuse me. I hate to see them leave Nina Ricci. We're not trying to, misgender anybody. Sorry. I hate to see them leave Nina Ricci. Because Nina Ricci is a brand that I loved from back in the day. And to see its revival under Harris Reed's, hands, for him to be such a young designer and do so well at it straight out the gate, I'm really sad to see him go because this is everything. I definitely need that leopard peplum coat, honey. Harris, call me. I need this coat. Moving on. So huge congratulations to Harris Reed. Also about his departure, I'm sad to see it, but I'm not surprised. Harris hasn't even been married 5 years yet. They've got their namesake brand over in London. So maybe they want to start a family. Maybe they want to, enjoy their spouse, a little more closely. I could understand them wanting to slow down. You know what I mean? So huge congratulations to you, Harris Reed. Enjoy life. Mwah. Barissima. Anyway, moving on to my second favorite collection. Honey, I have to give it to the very, very sexy Hayder Ackerman for Tom Ford. Another huge sophomore collection. I have to light a cigarette on this one because, honey, it was perfect. Seamless, sharp, perfect. Hayder Ackerman really wanted to focus on structure, sharpness, the subtle details in every look. And the way he combined it, that early 90s business chic with this sort of BDSM, like with these clear PVC skirts, with this very structured and stern, that's the word. This collection was sexy and stern. I absolutely love this. I don't have not one bad thing to say about this collection, honey. Excuse me. Brava. 10, 10, 10s across the motherfucking board for this. And now to my final collection, my final fave. I gotta give it to Matthew Blasi. I have to give it to Matthew Blasi because I'm going to tell you something. When you see when you see celebrities on the front row, like, hey, I need this. Tiana Taylor was gawking at a one of the coats. We saw her in that coat the next day. These celebrities can't get a hold of this Chanel fucking fast enough. I see regular girls on Instagram, the Instagram girlies, the Instagram fashionistas, they already have some of his stuff. And I'm like, whoa. I have not seen celebrities clamor to a new designer at a luxury fashion house like this since, I'm going to say, and y'all might disagree with me, since Riccardo Tisci at Givenchy. Like back in the 2010 eras. I have not seen this kind of fandom from celebrities over a designer since Riccardo Tisci at Givenchy. Argue with me in the comments. I really thought that this collection was, again, age inclusive, size inclusive. Me as a plus size woman, I didn't feel like, oh girl, this is just something I'm going to report on. I actually felt like, oh, I could wear that. I could wear that. I could wear that. Every look was something that I could wear. It's very relatable, but it's still cheeky and fun and very much Karl Lagerfeld Chanel's. It doesn't stray too far away from what we know and love Chanel to be, but it does have, his Matthew Blasey touch on it, which is very much technique over logo. That's the only thing. It's technique over logo over at Chanel from now on, and the people are living for it. Huge congratulations to Matthew Blasey. And speaking of Chanel, we might as well go on right on over to the Oscars, honey. We might as well go right on over to the Oscars, honey, because that's all you saw on the Oscars red carpet. But before we go to the Oscars red carpet, can we have a little side conversation about John Galliano making his design return at Zara? I'm so confused by this. I'm so confused by this. I have seen so many think pieces. I have seen so many memes of him going through like fashion, garbage piles. Like, I don't know how I feel about it. I mean, listen, John Galliano told y'all, listen, bitch, gas is $30 a gallon. I need my coin. And Zara is going to pay him a beautiful coin. I haven't heard how much he's getting paid for this, which is a little, it's a little trashy to ask somebody how much they're getting paid. But I'm just wondering, like, what would make him, in case you didn't know who John Galliano was, this is the man that defined Dior for years. John Galliano is one of the last of the 90s greats. Like, I think all we have left is, like, Jean-Paul Gaultier. When it comes to that European mainstream fashion market. So to see him, I would much rather see him start his own brand. But listen, fast fashion is where the money is at. I just told you gas is $30 a gallon. Who the fuck can afford Azzadina Laya? You know what I mean? So, I mean, monetarily wise, I don't blame Jean Galliano for, creative directing at Zara. True artist fashion wise, it's a head scratcher. But anyway. Again, speaking of everybody loving to Chanel, that was proven at last week's Oscars red carpet. Honey, I have two best dressed for you. Anne Hathaway, who is wearing Valentino. I thought she looked absolutely stunning. I have not seen Anne Hathaway look this good in a long time. And of course, my best dressed of them all, honey. I gotta give it to Tiana Taylor in this custom Chanel. No words. Absolutely breathtaking. I love the pixie cut with this. I love that it was more laid back. It was more easygoing than some of the other looks we've seen her in. And she still managed to be the best dressed queen of them all. And unfortunately, she didn't win her Oscar, but she was nominated. Let me sit on Tiana Taylor real quick. Y'all really have to stop. I saw so many people, oh, she doing too much. Oh, this was her first time at the Oscars. And you know what? I love to see Black women embrace their moments. That was a moment for her. How dare you judge how she acts and what she's doing? She did have a little scuffleupagus with a security guard, and she did cuss him the fuck out. I mean, she is from New York. She's from Harlem, honey. The fuck out of here. But the way the entire internet was like, is she on something? I mean, even accusing her of being on drugs or being an alcoholic. Like, are y'all sick? That is what you were witnessing was Black girl joy. Unapologetic Black girl joy is what you were witnessing. She's like, bitch, I'm at the Oscars. Fuck me not winning. Even her standing up and clapping for the person that won in the category that she was nominated in, who beat her for the Oscar for Best Supporting Actress. I mean, it was like, well, why is she standing up clapping? And if she had sat down and rolled her eyes and gave you the... Y'all would have had something to say about that. It's too many opinions. And opinions can be dead-ass motherfucking wrong. So, huge shout out to you, Tiana Taylor. Keep on enjoying your accomplishments and celebrating yourself in front of the world. Because there's a lot of Black women who oftentimes suppress their joy in their accomplishments. And nobody should have to do that. For anything. And I also have to give a huge shout out to the cat. Well, now that we're away from the red carpet onto the awards, I have to give a huge shout out to the cast of Sinners. Michael B. Jordan, I am so happy you won. I am proud of Michael B. Jordan. Michael B. Jordan is a class act, a real Renaissance type of brother. And, you know, Michael B. Jordan, you know, you are very much single, and whenever you get tired of taking your mama to all these functions, which, hey, there's nothing wrong with taking your mama as a date to all these functions, but if you want a real chocolate goddess on your arm, you know, I'm always available. Hey, Mr. Jordan. So Michael B. Jordan won his first Oscar. I have a piece of his acceptance speech. Here, let me play it for you guys. Well, I thought I had it. Hold on. Here it goes right here.
Staying here because of the people that came before me. Sidney Poitier, Denzel Washington, Halle Berry, Jamie Foxx, Forrest Whitaker, Will Smith, and to be amongst those giants, amongst those greats, amongst my ancestors, amongst my guys. Thank you, everybody in this room and everybody at home for supporting me over my career. I feel it. I know you guys want me to do well, and I want to do that because you guys bet on me. So thank you for keep betting on me.
Again, congratulations to Michael B. Jordan. And I loved his speech. I love that he gave all the Black men that won before him their flowers. And I think it's kind of disappointing also, actually, when you think about how many Black men have been in movies that have kept us entertained over and over and over again over the years. How many phenomenal performances we've seen from Black men, and only like 5 or 6 have won? We've got to change that. We've got to change that. But again, you know, That's why we have the NAACP Awards, which I didn't get a chance to touch on, but congratulations to all the winners and nominees of the NAACP Awards. I got a chance to watch it, and it was a great show. Great show. Great award show. And that's why we need to big up more of our stuff. Because the Oscars, we weren't even allowed to attend the Oscars at a certain point in time. So, again, not to take away from his win, but huge congratulations to Michael B. Jordan. And also huge congratulations to Ryan Coogler, who, hold on. I got to make sure I tell it right. To Ryan Coogler for winning Best Original Screenplay. Also, Ludwig Garrison for Best Original Score, which is the music. And history was made. The first ever woman to win Best Cinematography went to Autumn Gerald Archipel. I hope I'm saying that right. Who is also a woman of color. So congratulations to the entire cast. Also, I thought their performance was absolutely amazing. Brilliant performance. And also a little bit of shade to actor Timothy Chalamet, who lost to Michael B. Jordan. He was in that ping pong movie, and during his press junket, his press tour, he threw some shade at the ballet, calling it boring or dead. And they brought famed black ballerina Misty Copeland out of retirement after having hip surgery, honey, to perform right in front of Timothy Chalamet. I mean, the whole night they were throwing shade at him all night, as well as, Dingleberry Don and the whole MAGA administration. So I thought the Oscars was pretty cool this year. I watched most of it, which is surprising because I usually don't watch the Oscars. After the red carpet, I just catch the highlights. But I really wanted to see the Sinners performance, and I did want to see Michael B. Jordan, Tiana Taylor, and everyone black, darling, win their awards in real time. So congratulations to all the winners and all the nominees. I also have to throw a little shade at the Bezos bimbo, honey, because, bitch. So Jeff Bezos and his bimbo, Lauren Sanchez, mysteriously got invited to the Vanity Fair party, honey. And when I saw her dress, first of all, Nicole Kidman definitely shaded the fuck out of y'all and stole all your camera time, because nobody gives a fuck about a fascist billionaire or his horrible wife. Let's get that straight. But I was looking at her dress and I was like, where the fuck have I seen this dress before? Bitch, did Kim Kardashian wear this same archived Jean Galliano fall winter 1996 satin organza gown to your wedding? You are not Kim K, honey. We don't like her either. Are you serious? Did you borrow it from the same vintage dealer? I couldn't believe it. I had to go and look. I said, I know I've seen Kim K in this dress. I know, even down to the hairstyle. You are such a biter. Like, you're going to wear the same dress your friend wore. Did you borrow it from her closet? Anyway, so moving on. So last week, honey, hold on, I'm trying to cut this down. So last week, there is a gay club. I believe it's called, I don't want to say because I forgot the name of it. But there was a gay club in Atlanta that booked the son of Solange Knowles, Beyonce's nephew, Jules Smith, ooh, excuse me, to host an event at the club. It's an LGBTQ plus event, and they invited Jewel Smith to host. He made the announcement via social media that he was going to be there and that he was going to do a TikTok live interview with the gay magazine. So Jules gets there. Well, before he gets there, he already starts throwing shade. Well, just to let y'all know, I'm bringing 20 women. Just so y'all notice, they don't keep these fags away from me. I'm just here for the check. And then when he gets there, he proceeds to act like this. So then the night is coming to a close. The main reporter for Gay Magazine, I forgot his name. I'm so sorry. But he is a very prominent figure in reporting right now. I've seen him on the NAACP red carpet. He's everywhere. And he's very respectful. He's been doing this for a long time. So he walks up to Jules. Well, here, just take a look at it.
How you doing, my brother? Nice to meet you. Hey, my brother. So we were gonna get your interview outside when you leave. That's cool. I'm not doing that. You're not doing one? Oh, they missed me. Okay, cool. You say you're not doing one.
Now, I thought the reporter handled, and I can't remember his name, and I feel so bad because I'm such a fan of his. But I thought he handled it so gracefully, especially after Jules had already agreed to doing the motherfucking interview in the first place. And did you even catch that he didn't even want to shake his hand? But you're going to be surprised at my thoughts on this, because I don't blame Jules. I don't blame Jules not one bit. I blame the people that booked him. Because you gays always do this. Why are we not booking queer black talent in queer black spaces? And then get mad when you get treated like a bunch of dirty fags. That's what they think of you as. Now, what I will say, Jules, is you should be lucky that they even invited you and paid you, because nobody else is paying you to do club appearances. Nobody else is paying you to sit at the club on your phone. You're not Beyonce, and you're not Solange. That's your mom and your aunt. You don't have that kind of clout, honey. He then went on, and I don't have the clip, but he then went on a couple of days later and did an interview with some random hood rat. And I would love to know how much she paid you to do that interview, because you then tweeted with all your diamonds, those interviews cost too. You know, it was just real distasteful on your part, Jules. And you haven't even been in the spotlight as an adult long enough for you to be even making these kind of waves. And also, this might cost you a little bit of a couple of runway shows, because you're a model. Most of the people that you work with are queer. So anyway, he went on to do the interview with this random hood rat. And of course, she's picked me, and she's like, yeah, I don't know why everybody mad at you. Like, they should be happy that you came, basically. And then he goes on to say how people have been calling him gay since he was a little boy. I have never heard anybody call you gay. I've never even heard anybody mention you other than to say, oh, wow, I can't believe Solange's son is that grown. Like, we remember you when you were in your mom's belly in the Soldier video. I've never heard anybody say anything about your sexuality. And I waited to sit on this story because when I saw the tweets, I knew you were going to get backlash, and I knew that you were going to play victim. Oh yeah, these gays been commenting on my sexuality when I was just a kid in the 7th grade, and I had a girlfriend at the time. So now, because you're being called out, the gays are being predatory against you. Which there is some truth to that, because let's be clear, the reason why you got booked, number one, is because of your mom and your aunt. Number two, is because you cute and you light skin and you got pretty eyes. And that falls on the gays, the gays. That falls on you all. Because there was no reason for him to be there. There's so much queer talent out here. It's insane. And then some of them have really good music that could have performed that are still waiting for a shot. And that have a following on social media. But Jules, and not to mention, now I'm starting to look at Beyonce and Solange a little funny, because where does all that homophobia come from? Because you are homophobic. Let's be clear. Let's call a thing a thing. You are a homophobe. Because there was no reason why, even if you didn't want to do the interview, you could have still shook that man's hand and answered. He was like, I don't really feel like doing a whole interview. Let's just do 5 questions real quick, because I did promise you. What have you learned nothing from your aunt? I remember watching your aunt when she was coming up with Destiny's Child, and, group members got switched in the middle of an album rollout, and they had to sit there and take it. And she did. But I am starting to look at Beyonce and Solange and their mom a little funny, because I'm just like, well, where does he get this from? Was the Renaissance album a money grab for you too, Beyonce? And I remember when the Renaissance first came out, and I was a little skeptical. I was like, well, girl, we've seen her with, trans women dancers and gay hairstyles and stuff, but I ain't buying that she all for the community, and then she had the Uncle Johnny story, and I was like, where did this gay uncle come out of thin air? I ain't never hear you talk about a gay uncle, you know what I'm saying? And, I just thought I was being, a little bit of a skeptic. But the gut never lies, honey. Anyway, Jules, do better, because you're making the family look bad. So before I go, we at war, y'all. I don't know what else to say about it. I honestly don't know what to say about it. Iran is really doing a number on the United States with this oil situation and closing up the Strait of Hormuz, which is which is where the world gets a large portion of their oil from. Other countries have basically said, we ain't helping you. Didn't nobody tell you in Israel to go over there and fuck with them people? It's being rumored and alleged and reported that Benjamin Netanyahu is possibly not with us anymore. I wouldn't be too mad about it. Which would explain why Trump and Pete Hegseth and Mike Johnson are all over the place with this war. They can't tell us why we at war. Oh, we don't like the way they said our name. Oh, we don't like that they wear, the stuff that they wear. I mean, what is it? Did you really think that you were going to go into Iran like Venezuela and just do what the fuck you wanted to do? Really? That's how we doing it? And then it's like, the TSA workers aren't getting paid now. And he's saying by tomorrow. Oh, I said today was Saturday. Today is Sunday, bitch. I'm sorry. He's saying that tomorrow, since the TSA agents don't want to come to work because they're not getting paid, as if he would work for free, he's going to put ICE as TSA at the airports. Honey, do they know how to work those computers and check for people's luggage and stuff, though? I haven't heard anybody ask that question. Because a lot of these people that's working for ICE, they don't even have a middle school diploma. Some of these ICE people is the same people that was up there on January 6th shitting on the Capitol walls. And then I've never watched The Handmaid's Tale, but I saw a scene from The Handmaid's Tale on Instagram earlier today where a lesbian couple was going through the airport and they had something like ICE at the airport and how they were harassing her and asking her if the child came from her embryo or not. And I was like, well, honey, if I can't get there in a car, bitch, I ain't coming. Now, Iran has just issued a statement basically saying, hey, America, it ain't safe for y'all. And even though I live in Virginia, you know, in the more rural end of Virginia, there's a lot of Army bases here in Virginia. I'm a little nervous. You know, my sister lives in Richmond. I have my good friend Yanita who lives in Norfolk. You know, I'm nervous for my friends and family all around, you know, the tri-state area. I'm also nervous about my job. These are some scary fucking times we're in. And it's just, and all of it for what? Because your greedy ass would rather steal from these people and harass these people than do what's right for your own people? And let me light another cigarette. How much more time I got? I got 7 more minutes. Let me light another cigarette before we go. I just want to address this real quick. They're talking about bringing the draft back. And, you know, a lot of people on social media, you know, his base, Trump's base did not want to be in war. He promised you all that, I'm going to end all the wars. Don't worry about it. And now here we are. And people are getting up in y'all's face and saying, we told you so. And y'all have the unmitigated gall to get online. You melatonin maggots have the unmitigated gall to get online and complain. We don't need anybody. You're bullying us. I don't need anybody telling me we told you so. That is so mean. Bitch, I am going to rub y'all noses in it every motherfucking chance I get. You goddamn right, because y'all are part of the reason why we're here. You are a part of the reason why there is a Walmart rollback tag on the back of your child's head, just in case they need boots on the ground in Iran. And let me tell you something. Y'all can put them boots on the ground in Iran. I've been seeing these TikToks of these young soldiers doing these TikTok dances, talking about something, we ready for Iran, we gonna fuck them up, yada, yada, yada. Y'all ain't ready to go over there. Y'all are not ready to go over there and fight them people on their turf. America needs to mind their own goddamn business and take care of what's going on over here. Pete Hegseth just had the unmitigated gall to get on national TV and ask for another $200 billion of our tax money. For what? You can't even tell us why we over there. It is so ridiculous. Walmart just put a warning out about, you know, the shelves are going to get skimped. Things are getting expensive. People in higher tax brackets who never shopped at Walmart are starting to shop at Walmart now, which is very telling. My mother has her own business. She's worried. What if people start losing their jobs? I really think, and I talk about this all the time, about how we need to stop all these culture wars. Like, you know, the one that's going on currently with EJ Johnson and heterosexual black people having a bitch fit over him saying he looks better than a girl in a skirt. Instead of worrying about that and making think pieces about that, we need to be having, you know, neighborhood meetings, city meetings about how we can get our elderly and our pregnant women to these hospitals for their appointments without them having to worry about gas. We need to be collecting food so we can have food banks in these different neighborhoods. That's what we really need to be talking about. This culture wars bullshit between the whites, the Hispanics, the blacks, the Asians, the queers, and everybody else, it really needs to, we don't have time. We have very little time. Because if we do get struck, and I'm praying that we don't, it's going to be a rough road to hoe. America, we in danger, girl. But I have hope because there's so many people out there that are trying to do the right thing and that are, you know, trying to build some sort of community bridge to other communities so that we don't have to suffer through this. We could be having a good time while they're over there doing whatever fuck shit they're doing. Eating good, you know, depending on each other the way we should be. Anyway, I love y'all. I promise it won't be another 3 weeks before I come back. I'm feeling a lot better and I have a whole lot to say. But for right now, I have to bid you ciao. I'll be back in a few days. Love you. Make sure you like and subscribe too.